Sniper just shot me. The all-new HP Omen Max 16, rocking the new NVIDIA 5080 card and the new Intel 575HX processor. This thing is a performance beast, and it was on sale recently, so I actually bought this thing to replace my last laptop. So here it is out the door. It was about $2,000 before tax, which I couldn't find a 5080 even close to that price range. So that's why I went with the HP. I'm actually a big fan of the Legion being my last daily driver. As you see here, about 4 years ago, I bought the Omen with the 3060 in it. Then I went up to the Legion with the 3070 Ti in it. And then now, I bought the Legion in February 2nd of 2023. So about a little over 2 years, I'm going up to the 5080 series. So right off the bat, this is not the OLED screen version, but you can get it with the OLED screen. This screen is the mid-range version, the WQWHD, and it comes with 500 nits and 100% sRGB. On the left side here, you have 2 Thunderbolt ports, and you have the headphone jack, which also is a speaker and headphone and microphone jack all in one. On the back, what I'd like to point out is it does go up to 2.5 gigabyte on the RJ45 jack over there, the Ethernet port. You have the HDMI 2.1, you have the USB Type A, and then you have the barrel jack there, and then exhaust ports for the cooling system. On the right side of the laptop, you just have one USB Type A. So one A on the right, 2 C's, Type C's on the left. It does have this light bar here, which has 4 different zones on it. Something different about this review is I've already had the laptop for a month, so I'm going to tell you everything that I think about it. Here's the bottom of the laptop. I mean, it's nice. It's got a slight stoop up. It's pretty standard for most gaming laptops. A lot of people complain about the speakers. They're fine. They're definitely not great. I guess some people want really nice speakers on a gaming laptop. I mean, if you're gaming, I'd wear a headset anyways. So testing this keyboard. The key pressing is good. I like a little more spacing on the keys. So I like a little space between the numpad and this. But I could see where the I probably think they did it because of the RGB zones and everything. The touchpad though, I love it. Super sensitive, super good. Like no, it's just super sensitive. So like even the lightest touch it moves. Has a nice click to it. Zooming is really easy. It's just or scrolling and zooming. I wish that the down and up arrow were full sized. And then it's kind of weird that the power button is on the actual keyboard. I like it when it's a separate button, but small detail. Considers how often are you using the touchpad and the keyboard. Myself, less than 10% of the time because I usually have mine plugged in. And something also cool about the HP that I like better is at the top of the screen there where the webcam is, there's actually a physical button that you can close the webcam. It's a hard physical thing versus the Lenovo Legion is like a button that disables it on the software level. Right now I have a frame rate limiter at 144 just to match the monitor. I'm sure it can get higher or closer. It actually doesn't get that close in this mode. So I'm 2560 by 1440, full screen. You can see we have there motion blur off, but we have everything. We have NVIDIA DLSS on, which is definitely probably the best. Let's go to quality, dynamic 3D resolution. It's not available on this mode. We can go to Epic on virtual shadows. We go to Lumen Epic there. Epic, 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 Epic. Ray tracing on. All right, let's apply that. So we're like full here. So I don't know if you can see it. It drops down to about, I'm at 130, 110 to 130. I've run a constant 100 FPS. 100. I got it to dip to 85. Ooh, get out of my game, kid. GPU utilization 33%. Here we go. 156, 141, 113. Temps 134, 180 on the CPU, 150 on the GPU. Chassis at 118. Get on my game, Robin. That just shot me. And that's why if you have a couple more frames per second, you can really get those. I ran Cinebench and 3D Mark, and my totals came out very similar to just Josh over here. So we're going to compare these, and the same processor as mine, the 275HX, and we can compare it to last generation's processor and the AMD equivalents. And then we're also going to be looking at the 5080 versus the 5090, because you can get a 5090 in this computer as well. But this is everyone's so excited about with the new Intel processor, is that it's giving more power. It's giving you more processing power at a lower wattage, especially lower on the end, which hopefully will turn into better battery life. But I have to say, when it comes to battery life, this thing is still a hog. I mean, it's a gaming laptop. They still haven't solved that yet. You're not going to get more than a couple 2-3 hours if you're really going for it, like editing a video or something like that. If you're just browsing the internet, sure, you could probably get a little bit more, but it goes down very fast. So here you can see the 5080 versus the 5090. They're going to be using the Asus Strix Scar versus the Legion Pro 7i, and then we have the Omen Max in both variants, the 5090 and the 5080. What I got from these numbers and from my tests as well is the 5080 is totally worth it over the 4070 Ti if it's around the same price range. But going from the 5080 to the 5090, the incremental increase is just such a small thing compared to how much more you have to pay. So in my mind, it's totally not worth it unless you're balling, you got hella money, and you want to go for the upgrade. You can also see DLSS on versus off and the jumps in frame rate. If anything, it tells you that with DLSS on, if you have a 40 series card, you're not going to see as big of performance increases. The other thing that was interesting about these is that the Legion 7, because of the amount of power it's giving the GPU CPU, actually performs slightly better. So you probably want to know what's under the hood. Here it is. There's just 6 or 7 visible screws. You take them off, and then over by the RJ45 Ethernet port, do see that comes up off with it. And then what I like about this is, look, everything is labeled for you really clean. Here's the underside of the back plate. And you can upgrade the SSD to a second one, and you can also upgrade the RAM. Here's the left side of the computer. Here's the right side of the computer. Those speakers are really small, so I see why people don't like the speakers in this thing. So the SSD, you have 2 of them there. The primary one's going to be at the top. The secondary one's at the bottom. The secondary one is empty, so I added an extra terabyte. So I bought it with 1 terabyte. I'm adding a second terabyte. The one thing that does suck, where people are saying, is that to get to the original SSD, so if you buy like a 512 gigabyte and you want to replace it with a 1 terabyte, you do have to take off the entire heatsink structure to get to it. You can also get to the RAM very easily. These are just stickers on top. You peel the sticker off, you can access both RAM modules very easily. So it is very upgradable from replacing the battery, swapping out the RAM, and checking the SSD. Seems like there's a lot of misinformation out there. So this is the exact computer I purchased, and let's go ahead and see the specs. It's sold out right now. We have the Core 9 275HX. There is a 285HX, which is slightly better, but that's another story. And then from the 5070 Ti to the 5080, you are getting that extra VRAM. So that's really why I went to the 5080 instead of the 5070 Ti. This is the middle of the road monitor. There's that OLED option, which is a little nicer, but I went with it. I'm a little bit, I'm not too worried about burn-in, but it's super bright, 500 nits, and it is on 100% sRGB. It's a nice Nice monitor. 1 terabyte SSD. Like I said, I have the one. I added a second one to it, and then it comes with six. I don't need to change the RAM out. It already has 32 gigs, which my last computer only had 16. So I'm up. I do like that right here it has 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. So I'm going from a 1000 to future proofing with that. The other thing is my last computer only had Wi-Fi 6E, and now I'm going up to Wi-Fi 7. It's a new standard, but as more and more routers come out, that'll be great. And then the 330 watt power supply is not much. I'm going from a 230 watt, and honestly, the weight difference is minimal. As far as the ports go, pretty standard. A lot more USB Type C, or what they call Thunderbolt. And the webcam is an upgrade as well for me, going up to the 1080p. So in conclusion, I'm really happy I really got a good deal on this. Something we should all be talking about is how all these companies want you planned obsolescence, right? They want you to upgrade every year or two, and I'm probably going to be upgrading in a year or two. They're also going to be sending me advertising through their software, etc., etc. But HP is no different than Lenovo and Asus. They're all playing the same similar game. So I really just came down to price to performance, and I really like this one. Some of the first things I would do is take off all the bloatware that they install on it. And I've seen some people reapply the thermal paste as well, but I'm having no issues with that right now. That might be something I do down the line, maybe after a 6 months to a year. I want to make it clear that this thing, for what you're paying to what I got, is just phenomenal. I'm super happy there. As far as little nitpicking things,
down there too. You want
yes,
some?
there's a lot of fan noise when you're gaming because it needs to cool itself off. Yes, the outside attracts a lot of fingerprints, but you're going to notice a lot of the brands are doing that now on their shells. And then it does have the RGB, but remember, you can turn that off and turn it into like a little bit of a sleeper. So at the end of the day, if you don't need a laptop, if you're already kind of rocking a 1 or 2 year old gaming laptop, you might be fine and just wait another year, especially if it's still working. But if you want to make that upgrade, this is a great choice for you. Another thing that kind of sold me on spending the little bit of extra money from going from a 4070 Ti up to the 4080 was it was the same price. And I was just thinking, when it comes time for me to sell this unit, hopefully it doesn't break, but when it comes time to sell, like I'm selling my old one soon, when it comes time to sell, you get the value back out of it, right? So I'm going to be able to sell the 4080 for $100 to $300 more than I would sell the 4070 Ti. So you got to do that math as well, that it's kind of an investment at that point. Anyways, that's what I think. Let me all think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll put some links in the description if you're interested in checking these out. And take care.